Powerful decrees and tools to protect yourself from negative people. Conny Mendez. In this opportunity, we will talk about what to do when dealing with people with negative energy. I will provide you with tools like affirmations that you can use when you feel threatened in certain situations. This video may be a bit longer compared to other videos you've seen on my channel. However, it is important that you pay close attention and stay until the end. Because if you're here listening to me at this very moment, it's clear that you need this. I assure you that you will leave here with a lot of peace, tranquility, understanding why these things happen to you, and I will give you tools to apply in those situations. The first thing you must understand, as we have discussed in previous videos here, is that the universe operates by universal laws and principles, which never fail. It is people who fail to apply them due to ignorance or lack of faith in them. The first principle of creation is the principle of mentalism, and those of us who know the laws understand that the universe is mental, and what you think manifests, as you may have heard me say. What enters your mind enters your world. I will delve deeper into this information about the principles because we are in a present where most people are in terror, not knowing where to turn. And this also has a reason. Let's understand that in order for something to manifest, we must first create it in our mind. How do we create it? With a thought, a word we call affirmation, and an emotion. When we combine these 3 points at the same time, what you desire manifests in less time than you expect. And this has been proven over the years. In fact, even science has been able to prove that what we think can materialize. So, returning to the specific topic of this video that I was asked to create about people with low, dense, or dark energies, whatever you want to call them. Do they really exist? Yes, of course they do. Because the free will that God has given us, some people use it for good, and others use it for evil. And they blame God, poor God, for all the ills of humanity, when the only ones responsible for everything happening are human beings. Because in the world that God created, evil does not exist for Him. I don't want to delve into this further because it's a topic that needs to be handled carefully, as there are still people with deeply rooted beliefs who will do nothing but take advantage of this information and continue to do what they are accustomed to, which is to attack if you don't think like them. Anyway, let's get back to what really matters. We said that evil exists, yes. In metaphysics, we call it low vibrations because those of us who are a bit more knowledgeable in this science know how to handle ourselves to some extent when dealing with these people who are called energy vampires in spirituality. And the more educated you are, the less these kinds of people will appear before you, and now you will understand why. Pay close attention. We said that everything is in the mind, and for something to materialize, we must create it, right? Well, here comes my first question to you. What do you feed your mind with every day? Let me describe a common person with an example. You wake up and immediately start watching the news, where you don't even allow your mind to settle before bombarding it with negative information. Robberies, deaths, kidnappings, accidents, disasters, poverty, diseases, and the list goes on. And you may wonder what this has to do with people with low energy. I'll say it again. Stay until the end and listen very carefully to everything I'm telling you because everything leads to a final point. Let's continue. Most people love to watch the news, and with this they begin their day terrified of everything they heard and saw. Remember what I just told you. To materialize something, you must first create it with an image, an emotion, and an affirmation. The news is the clearest example I can give you, but wait. I have an even more important one. The image is what you saw on the news. The emotion is what it caused you to feel. And the affirmation takes minutes to make because if you saw something that impacted you, you commented on it. Done. It won't take long to manifest in your life. What impacted you more? A robbery, poverty, illness. I imagine you already know what follows, right? But now I'll give you another example, and if it seems extreme, sometimes we need someone to speak to us this way to understand that we are harming ourselves and to stop it. But it doesn't end here. Most people love horror movies. They prepare as if they were in a cinema, and some even go to the movies to watch them. Oh, because it's great to watch them with speakers that are practically inside your ears. And if you're at home, you even prepare popcorn or whatever you call it in your country. You eagerly await to watch that horror movie because, after all, it's just a movie. And with that, you justify it. Did you know that the subconscious doesn't discern? It doesn't distinguish between fiction and reality. That's why some people have nightmares that, God forbid. And what do you think you will experience if you keep giving your mind that information constantly? Deaths, robberies, poverty, accidents, earthquakes, catastrophes, kidnappings, diseases, horror movies about exorcisms, the dead coming back to life, dark magic, beings from other dimensions, and the list is endless here too. What do you think you will attract? I'll tell you what you will attract and I'll explain why. Not only does the law or principle of mentalism exist, there are 7 laws in total, and another one is the principle of vibration. As we've talked about before, similar vibrations resonate together, and those that don't, separate. With all the information you're feeding your mind every day, what vibration do you think you'll attract? Do you think you'll attract abundance, health, prosperity, success, love, happiness, peace? Mention in the comments if you find any of the things I mentioned in the news or in a horror or suspense movie. Spiritual laws never fail. So if you send that information to your brain, it will bring it into your physical plane. Poverty, accidents, earthquakes, more poverty, diseases, more accidents, people with low energy, fear, uncertainty. Because I don't know of a horror or suspense movie that doesn't have it. And we could talk about this for 2 days if you want. So here comes what you asked for. How to protect yourself from energy attacks. I mean, you fill your mind with all that garbage and then ask for protection. What enters your mind enters your world. And this is a truth as significant as a temple. Do you value yourself so little that you feed not only your mind, but your world with all that garbage? How do you expect to prosper if you spend your time crying over poverty in the world? And if you don't like what I'm saying, I apologize. But I have a foundation for this, and it's not a lack of empathy, which I'm sure was the first thing that crossed your mind. If poverty hurts you, create abundance in your life and share it with those in need, just as successful people do. Although many are criticized by a society that has made them believe that the rich are bad. Did you know that the children of the wealthy do not inherit their fortune? Most of the wealthy donate their vast fortunes to charitable organizations before they die, and I've studied this, so I know what I'm talking about. Do you know what they inherit? Knowledge, because with that knowledge, they make their own fortunes, and most of the wealthy are more spiritual and apply the laws much more than you and I. What do you need to protect yourself from if you are allowing these energies to surround you? Similar vibrations resonate together. When you understand that you must guard every thought because your mind is your temple, you will begin to see everything we are talking about here today. And I assure you that your life will completely change. People with low energy will no longer come near you. Your finances will improve, your health will get better every day, and you will experience true, pure love. Every day of your life will be created by you because we are made in the image and likeness of God. And by this, I am not saying we are God, but we are a part of Him. Stop watching the news and stop watching horror and suspense movies. There's another principle. As above, so below, and as below, so above. Above is your mind, below is your material plane. How do you expect to be healthy if you constantly watch diseases on the news? At least in my country, commercials or advertisements talk more and more about medications. Your knee hurts, take this. You have a headache, take this. Your leg hurts, take this. And you say, oh look, for my knee pain. And you rush to the pharmacy to buy it. And then you ask God for health? The universe doesn't work that way. It operates by spiritual laws. It will give you according to what you give it. If you keep talking about this or that pain all day, do you think it will give you health? Well, let me tell you that it won't, because I just told you, as above, so below, and as below, so above. And remember that where you put your attention, your energy goes, and it grows into what you become. You ask for abundance, but you spend the whole day decreeing poverty and complaining that it's not enough. How do you expect abundance if you are constantly living in constant complaint? Similar vibrations resonate together, and those that don't, separate. And we've already talked about it in many videos. When you change your thoughts about scarcity, God, the universe, or whatever you want to call it, activates everything in your favor for it to happen. Abundance. Because God's channels are infinite. Want health? Stop talking about diseases and start decreeing that you are healthy. There's a very powerful affirmation that, if you say it every day, I can assure you that many things will not be lacking for you. And the affirmation is, thank you, Father, because today everything is covered. Start changing the information you give to your mind. Do you want health? Stop talking about diseases and start affirming that you are healthy. Do you want money? Stop obsessing over how much you have in your wallet and the high cost of things for you today. Do you want negative energies to stay away? Stop polluting your brain with those movies and raise your vibration. Do you want success? Surround yourself with successful people. Pay attention to the environment you're in. Do you want energy to flow? Stop clinging to unnecessary things in your home. You came into the world with nothing, and there's no moving truck behind the coffin. Keep only what you use and need. Do you want love? Stop applauding your friends when they are unfaithful to their partners. Look in the mirror every day and love yourself first. What enters your mind enters your world. And I won't tire of repeating this to you. Let's summarize. You don't need to shield yourself from anything because nothing has power over you except what you give it. When you stop watching all that garbage on television, you will see that people with low energy won't even come near you. Keep yourself with elevated energy. How will you do it? Knowing that you have a wonderful Father and He wants the best for you by connecting with Him. And if you with God, who can be against you? Wake up every day with a purpose, a goal to accomplish. Don't harm anyone because the laws never fail, and they are exact. What you give returns to you, multiplied. God gave you free will. Use it in the best way. Start creating the life you desire because it exists. It only lacks your belief that you can have it. And in less time than a rooster crows, as we say in my country, you will be living miracles that you can't even imagine. And when everything changes in your life, never forget to be grateful for the journey you've traveled. And share absolutely everything that comes to you. From love, wisdom, your experiences, to your money with those who need it. And you will see that your life will continue to be abundant in all aspects, always. Students of the truth also face challenges. You know when? When we lower our vibration. Because we are not in a high frequency 24 hours a day. Otherwise, we would be ascended beings. We are human beings just like you. But we can instantly identify a negative situation and automatically raise our awareness because we know very well what we will attract if we vibrate at a lower frequency. With practice, it will also become easier for you to do it. Practice makes perfect. While you are learning to apply the spiritual laws, I will give you techniques and tools to help you stay as elevated as possible in your level of consciousness. But you must take 100% responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Nothing external is the executioner. It is you, based on what you feed your mind every day. Now I will share powerful affirmations with you so that you can use them in situations of low energy from other people or your own until you learn the laws that govern the universe. If you're not at peace, feeling nervous, or any state of mind that is not peaceful, or if you're in a situation where you sense low energy from another person, you will say, "Mighty Presence I Am, apply in me, your crystal clear violet flame consumer. Consume all influence contrary to peace and the well-being of myself and all those around me. Surround me in your channel of light and energy, like a powerful wall against which all negative, destructive, and non-beneficial forces clash. Let them return to their point of origin, transmuted into goodwill, love, and well-being towards all they reach in their action. Thank you, Father." Another affirmation you can use is, "I am the guarding presence that instantly consumes anything that seeks to disturb me." You'll notice that when I mention an affirmation, my tone of voice changes, but it's not a commanding tone. It's simply a straightforward tone, staying true to what I'm saying, in an elevated vibration. And that's the best way to affirm. It's not about getting angry or imposing what you're saying. It's about standing firm and elevated. Moving on to the next one. I'll share 2 more affirmations with you. This one is for any disharmonious situation that arises. No, sir, this cannot be true, because my I am is perfect. I erase anything created by my external consciousness and accept only the manifested perfection. I open the door to God with this affirmation, and He straightens everything externally. Thank you, Father. And if you come across a person whom you know uses energies negatively, silently say, "I am light," and I assure you, that person will leave instantly. And that concludes our journey into the fascinating world of the law of attraction. Thank you for watching. To receive a very powerful ancient technique to attract abundance, visit the link in the description of this video, and don't forget to subscribe.